Good Saturday morning, February 3rd, where the Celebrate Business Project is happy to share that every Saturday is Small Business Saturday. I had a friend question me, how can I make that statement? And I explained, my explanation was twofold. Uh, this last holiday season, um, I was extremely disappointed with how the national media, if you will, it was national media because that's where I saw it, was handling Small Business Saturday, which is a program, a recognition uh, that the Small Business Administration, the SBA, that they created. I don't even know how many years ago it was created, but as well, we know this when it was created, there was not an online frenzy of activity. So fast forward, cyber Dark Friday, Cyber Monday, whatever folks are calling things. The first time I heard a conversation about it, and the national media was saying this is what's going to be happening, uh, they gave little attention. Not They gave no attention. The first time I heard it, they gave no attention to Small Business Saturday, and that angered me. So I said, well, uh, in my mind, every Saturday is Small Business Saturday because uh, I'm a third generation small business owner, and so I was born into small business. And my family, there were several businesses going on in my family, and so I'm a third generation, and so I have every Saturday has been uh, a small business Saturday for me. Uh, I was in discussion with another friend this week. Actually, we were going back and forth, I think, in some messaging, and he challenged me to what was my interpretation of the words collaborative partnership. And I said that that's a great question. It is uh, in my mind. Well, he wanted to know, was it created a million years ago, or was something I created? I definitely I didn't create. There's no way I created the concept. I don't know who were the first people to mutter it, but it's been a part of me for the last 52 years. When I am have been very blessed to be in a situation in doing business where uh, I picked the project of what I want to do. What is the marketing sales challenge? It's all marketing sales. That's the only thing I know. And so, what was the marketing and sales challenge? To me, and I put it into a project form. I test it. I test it for myself. The various things that I've done for the last 52 years, and I make it work for me. Then, when I am convinced that it works the way that I want it to work, then I want to share that experience with other folks. And so I'm very selective, very selective about the folks with whom I will share it. I do my research to find out, what they're all about, how do they present themselves, whatever, the best research that I can do. And then I put together what I call a conceptual proposal. And then um, why are we going to be, why, why am I seeking you to collaborate with me on this particular project? Back to that, back to that idea in a moment. Uh, to best define a collaborative partnership, it actually happened to myself yesterday afternoon. I was in conversation with a friend. We met on in cyberspace on a Wednesday. I don't know if it's been a year yet. At any rate, we had never gone one to one. We were in a, it was group setting and a presentation was being done. So we had very little one to one communication um, up until I guess last week. And I said I'd like to have a video chat with you to discuss uh, something on my mind, something that I need in my business, or something I'm thinking about. And I know that you are the absolute right person to ask for guidance. So we had a video chat last week, and there was in the course of the conversation, I presented what my technology needs were, and we're talking about video technology, and well, not tying all the things that I did, the technology infrastructure of the Celebrate Business Project, and uh, so at one point, well, this I told her what I needed, what I thought I needed, because as we had this conversation, that conversation lasted for about a half hour. Um, I really my takeaway from the conversation was, and I didn't tell her that. I said to myself, I don't think I need as much technology as I thought I needed based upon the conversation I had with you. So that is the direction I'm going to go. But in the course of the conversation, uh, for whatever reason, uh, I'm not going to mention her name uh, to protect her identity. Uh, uh, she asked me uh, would I barter her technology services for my marketing and sales expertise so that we could work together with one another, help working with each other, bringing value to the other's business, and together bringing a new value to the marketplace. That is the true meaning of a collaborative partnership that we were starting to form. A week ago, we started to form it. And uh, yesterday, um, we had another conversation yesterday, late yesterday afternoon, and that one lasted for over an hour. And uh, we were talking, and I decided, okay, my friend, here's where you and I are really going to collaborate. You've heard me talking about quantum computing, which is, I just heard the expression for the first time uh, watching a television interview. And it fascinated me because, well, it was a story about Google, IBM, and the Cleveland Clinic, world renowned Cleveland Clinic, uh, a project that they were collaborating together, investing millions. And I don't know if it was an even split with them. I have no idea, but I have a feeling it probably wasn't. Uh, Quantum computing is a multi-dimensional way of looking at things. we kind of look at things in a binary with binary glasses in today's world, the world that we're all used to. But quantum computing, I don't. It's a flipping and turning, so it's not just one and two. It's three and four and five, and that's how you come up with whatever creative and critical thinking it is that you're trying to accomplish. And I said yesterday to my friend, okay, I want to learn as much about quantum computing as I possibly can from a marketing and sales perspective. That's the only perspective I know. And you, obviously, with your technology expertise, we can partner together to understand and start to formulate some things that together we can bring to the marketplace. That, my friends, is truly an expression of collaborative partnerships. It's the and it's happening. It's happening right now as we speak. What else? Oh, this was an unbelievable week for the Celebrate Business Project. We on Tuesday, I hopped on a bus and went downtown Cincinnati, about a 20-minute bus ride, and hand delivered a conceptual proposal to a bank about co-producing. Every Saturday is Small Business Saturday with me, co-producing, co-publishing a whole program, direct mail, and I hand delivered that on Tuesday, and didn't hear back anything, but I will hear back. There's no question about. Wow, this weekend I'm going to produce a 10-minute, not more than 10-minute, less than 10-minute video on why did I hand deliver a conceptual proposal to this particular bank. In the week, then another thing came into mind, and I started to reach out to make that aspect happen. Well, when all the parties come together in collaboration, we will have an extremely powerful every Saturday is Small Business Saturday, and it's unbelievable how things are happening. Well, you've heard me say or write before, things happen in life with purpose. You and I are here to figure out what our purpose is in terms of that whatever it is that's happening. And the more that you focus on that kind of critical thinking, you'll be able to reach goals and objectives. It's just kind of how it works. I wanted to share also too a book that we're gonna the words collaborative partnership are not in this book, which and that's the reason I went to it. I've had this book for probably close to 20 years, and it hasn't. Well, I'm gonna share some of it with you. What Brian Tracy has to say about it, my commentary. I've been following Brian Tracy for almost 20 years, and I had I was on a book cover with him in a project in 2011. Well, he signed the book he signed a book in 2011, but I had an opportunity to share with him, have a conversation with him about, at that time we were going to talk about Dreaming with Entrepreneurs, the name of my company, uh, and my company, the legal entity LLC, and uh, at the end of the conversation, uh, Brian wrote in the book, that book, it's around here somewhere. There are no limits, David. There are no limits, and that's what entrepreneurship is about. That's what the business mindset is about. It is absolutely has been a part of me for the last uh, officially 52 years. I bought my first business 52 years ago. Okay, Brian Tracy wrote the book, The 100 Absolutely Unbreakable Laws of Business Success. And it was a great, great place to me to start in my journey. And Brian has written, I think, well, he's written more than 75 books. I don't know how many more than 75, in 50 languages, all over the world, millions of people. But, and I've got a bunch of them. Definitely not all of them, but I have a lot of them. This particular book, I wanted, what are the laws of, why, how does one determine business success? And actually, in some cases, my definition is explanation is different than Brian's, but we'll get into that. Chapter 1, the laws of life. Chapter 2, the laws of success. Chapter 3, the laws of business, the laws of leadership, the laws of money. Chapter 5, the laws of selling. That was a good one. Actually, you know what? I am going to focus on those, I think. Laws of selling. Yeah, let's focus on the laws of selling. We've done a lot of it in our lifetime. Chapter 6 starts on page 189. The laws of selling, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's 14 laws. I'm trying to think if I should start with his intro. Let's start with the intro. Let me read the intro to lead into the actual laws themselves. We all make our living selling something to someone. Everyone works on commission, and my my definition of commission is, well, a commission is when it's an agreement. It's a contractual agreement between uh, um, someone. You are selling a product, and a certain percentage of that product becomes a commission, becomes your earned income when you sell it. I have lived the form of that, definitely not that, lived the form of that for forever. Uh, Only 10 years of my life in the last 52 was somebody else picking up the tab, so to speak. I was getting paid a salary, a salary, definitely a salary, a good salary. But other than that, uh, it's about the mindset of the commission. It can become make the whole selling process uh, different. I have never been a hard sell. Well, some folks would disagree with that, but I live with three basic principles about selling, about marketing, and that is passion. You have to show a passion for what it is you are trying to get somebody else uh, to buy, to share, to do whatever. Persistence. uh, if you truly believe in what it is that you're doing, whatever it is, uh, the persistence, it's the right thing to do. You're persistent because it's the right thing to do. Let me share a funny story that actually happened to me 1985 exactly. Uh, I walked in, I did not have an appointment, but I was able to walk in to the office of somebody who I'd been trying to get to for um, a long time, a couple months, anyways. And I got into while I was led into his office uh, by actually the lady at the front desk. It was a big corporate office, and we made friends. So she got me in. Well, anyways, um, Dan was working on on something when well, he didn't know I was coming, so he was working on whatever it was he was, and he he was trying to solve a problem that he had with his direct mail. He had a very successful direct mail program, but it was limited. The success was limited, and he wanted to make it unlimited. So well, he was right. So I smiled and I said, uh, I can engineer direct mail into uh, cost efficiently. He could have done it, but cost efficiently uh, direct it to any zip code that you want. And Dan, he, he laughed, and then when he smiled back at me, I closed the door. Uh, well, no, we had gotten into the conversation a little bit, and then I closed it. I got up and I closed the door, and he looked at me and he said, "I said we're not leaving here until you and I have an agreement on exactly what's going to happen, how we're going to make the solution to your problem happen." And he kind of laughed and he said, "You're pretty persistent, aren't you?" And I looked back at Dan and I said, "This is the first time we had ever met. Be careful on who you might do the same thing with. Not recommended. Know who it is with whom you are doing it." So uh, I looked at Dan and I said, "Dan, I'm persistent because it's the right thing to do." And he smiled back and said, "Let's get to work." So that's how all of that happened. How do we get onto that? Commission. I, for most of my life, a little bit got paid, but then really got paid when I made happen what I said was going to happen. When that's when you make whatever. That's when you make the difference, and that is perform. I've always called it performance marketing, which I didn't create those terms. I've read them, uh, but I've lived by them forever. I actually put together with I collaborated with a client friend, and we she was the client, a large insurance company, and I was providing customer care, representing uh, customer care in a call center, and uh, how phones should be properly answered in a call center. That was what I brought to the table. But actually, in her case, it was it was a sales call. I forgot about it. It was a sales call, so uh, the people had to be licensed who are making the call to sell insurance over the phone. We sold an awful lot of it, and then Teresa was really, oh, wow. I remember that. That's a long time ago. Teresa and I put together the very first performance-based model. Well, for her in the insurance business to sell insurance, the first model, and it was a $13 million commitment on her part if certain goals and accomplish certain goals were achieved. It was a 13 million. Wow. It, it ended up that that project, she wanted it to happen. Certainly, I wanted it to happen, but there was somebody in the large company that didn't want it to happen, and it never happened. And amazing, amazing. It was and it was very. It was back in 1985. We put that model together. Um, we collaborated uh, to put that very successful performance based marketing model together. Oh, in business and industry, and in most organizations, you are paid based on your ability to sell the quality of your work to the people whose opinion is most important in determining your success. Those people who market themselves the most effectively move ahead far more rapidly in their careers. Red flag, remember that, than others who do not, even though they may not be talented and they may not be producing more or better work. It's all in the selling. Oh, here, I got to read this paragraph. Most people are uneasy about the word selling, including many salespeople. You know what? I can appreciate that. And so I try not to sell, but what I try to do is bring value. And once you can bring value to anybody's table, there's going to be a collaborative partnership formed. That's what value do you bring? What value can I? You get together and you collaborate. Uh, Back to, uh, I was just thinking about the collaboration that was made at 4 o'clock. Actually, by that time it was 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time yesterday afternoon. Uh, it was intended to happen, and everything was lining up, and uh, it all came because we were going to collaborate. She was going to bring value to what it is that I do. I was going to take value, present value to whatever it is that she does to that end. Um, well, I guess there's millions of people that could be. The call was in New York City. I'm not going to say where in New York City. That would give it away. It was in one of the 5 boroughs in Manhattan, in New York City. I won't tell you which borough because it'll definitely give it away. Anyway, We started to talk and all the things that were happening. Uh, I will be going to New York. Uh, we don't know when. It might be soon. Uh, my friend said there's something happening in February, which is now. So we may every Saturday, Small Business Saturday, may be producing, publishing in New York City very, very soon. And I will let you know when that happens. Okay, I've been yakking away for a half hour now. Uh, I need to give you the laws. I need to give you all the laws. I know you are in suspense waiting for them. Number 59 of the 100, so we're halfway through the book. Nothing happens until a sale takes place. How true. Oh, and Brian has corollaries. The first corollary is products and services are sold, not bought. I would use different, I conceptually know what Brian is saying there. I would use different words. I would once again put the word value in that statement. People want value. There's millions of people are selling the stuff that we need to buy. We make the decision to buy that, invest in that because it's going to bring value to our life, and that's why we do it. Second corollary of this law is customers need to be asked to buy. Oh, I guess they do. The third corollary, 80% of sales are closed after the fifth call or after the fifth closing attempt. 80%. I am happy to say in the last 52 years, my percentage was way better than that. I wouldn't spend fifth call. I wouldn't go to five calls if I can't do it. Here. Let me share this too. You've seen this many times if you've been following me. This was a thank you for 19 minutes of your time. Thank you for 19 minutes of your time. This was a theme, a branding that I used for a brand new magazine that I started the first edition was January 1, 79, but we started putting the whole project together obviously in 78. So in me trying to build readers and folks and advertisers, and I've always called them investors. I don't like to call them advertisers. They're invest because I can bring value to what it is that we're trying to do. Okay, why 19 minutes? Great question. In that campaign, now when I started the magazine, um, back then we had a staff of 15 folks. Uh, I was the oldest in 78. I was 29 years old. I was the oldest in the company. There was 15 other folks, a lot of them just coming out of college, and together we collaborated, and together we published a wonderful magazine. Uh, to tell folks about the magazine we created back in those days, we call it live streaming today. Back in those days, we called it multimedia. And we created, the team created a 19-minute multimedia presentation about Now and Stark County Magazine. So now it's behind. It's behind the red wall. The red wall. Oh, that is my wall of fame. Uh, the concept being, well, then I actually I sent a postcard out and a letter. I tried both to see which got more attention, which was able to get more attention. Uh, Postcards will always get somebody's attention. It's freestanding. It's in your. It's a thing that'll stand out. You don't have to open an envelope. It's not multi. It's just a single piece of cardboard, high grade paper. Sorry, uh, and I in my lifetime, uh, back in '85 and '86, I engineered, facilitated the mailing of millions, millions of postcards. Why? Because they work. Okay, 19 minutes. My I was asking folks for 19 minutes of their time. Here's our magazine. Here's what we're trying to accomplish. Please become readers of our magazine, our followers. Well, in time, uh, I don't know when I first came upon it. Maybe 20 years ago, 25 years ago. My theory has been two folks are sitting across the table, sitting across cyberspace, and they are contemplating uh, a collaborative partnership to make something happen. It only takes me, actually, way less than 19 minutes to see if the proper chemistry is there to make it happen. And that includes maybe the other side has greater expectations than that I think I can deliver. And that needs to be brought to the table and discussed if a collaborative partnership is going to happen. So that's the whole 19 minutes things. And oh, I got onto that because of AI. Today, well, it brings us to today. You've heard me talk about conceptual proposals. It takes me a good amount of time and thinking to put a conceptual proposal together based upon the research that I do, what based upon what value I think I can bring uh, to the individual sitting on the other side of the table. And because there are so many, there's a good 150 million people in the United States that could be talked to about the Celebrate Business Project. I will spend whatever time to find out who those folks are based upon the research that I do about the folks. But having said that, the proposal that I create, the conceptual proposal, I will only present it to, or it's intended for only a person who has the ability to say yes or no to what I've just presented. And it shouldn't take 19, and it's in 19 minutes, we can figure it out. So I don't have time. I only want to talk to folks that can say yes or no. Those are the two things you can hear in when you bring something to the table. And uh, if if not you, then we'll move on to somebody else. But it's the idea that I took time, and then personally, and this is happening to me because it's not the first time I sent out a conceptual proposal. First time I hand delivered one. Uh, Actually, it's kind of the second time. The first one was a disaster. Uh, why was I talking about the conceptual proposal? It has to be yes or no. If you don't want it, I'll find somebody who does. It's that simple. Uh, I guess when you're as old as I am and have done it as many times as I have, that's what it's all about. 50% of salespeople quit after the first call in a complex sale, and 50% of salespeople fail. You know, I'm going to stop right. Well, I'm going to read I'm going to read just the laws. We're going to stop talking about the corollaries because I don't agree with. I'm starting to not agree. We have all heard in the world of sales a cold call. I deplore the use. I get really cold when I hear the expression cold call. Do you cold call? Why do you cold call? Here's how you cold call. Why would anybody want to make a cold call? Shouldn't a call be as warm as possible? And you get that warmth by doing the proper research about whom it is that you're going to call on. To them, and they know it, and you probably know it. You don't want to admit it, but it's a numbers game, uh, and they can play whatever. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. You have to have the right mindset. What is happening in today's marketing and sales world really is a great concern to me. I see it. I see it every day. I see it almost every hour. Is how the artificial intelligence technology is being overlaid on top of marketing and sales. It is stuff that I am seeing right now. It's horrible, horrible. I said it was coming. I knew it was coming, and it is upon us. So what happens now? And it's not a bad thing. Trust becomes an issue more so than I've ever seen it uh, in my lifetime, because you have to trust the source who's providing the information. And with a machine feeding information, now there's a lot of great things that can be done with artificial intelligence in the world. If you're trying to create time efficiencies, I've seen it. I won't use it. I'll try to do it myself. But in time efficiencies, it's great application. Now, what a lot of folks are fearing, and they should, is artificial intelligence might replace a live body in an office someplace. Somebody's office, sales place, and that's not going to happen. That is happening. However, the point I would make, if the mindset of that individual was such that they were not selling, but instead delivering value, uh, artificial intelligence is not going to replace the deliverance of value. It's not going to happen. Value becomes something very unique, very individual. What's valuable to you is not necessarily valuable to me. So we form a collaborative partnership, whatever, when we are able to uh, understand those value systems. Let me quickly, before I go on, yeah. I asked two. I was with two friends in a TGIF celebration last night, out back in the garage, as a matter of fact, and both of them almost at the same time said to me, I don't know what they call me, David. They don't call me. I don't know what they call me out there. Don't you ever shut up? And I said, no, not often. Okay, number 60 is the law of determination. No more corollaries. Number 61, the law of need. Every decision to purchase a product or service is an attempt to satisfy a need or relieve a dissatisfaction of some kind. I pretty much agree with that. The law of problems. Yes, we actually live in a world of problems, and we as human beings we must bring valuable means of moving forward, positive value. That's what we need more of in the marketplace. Positive values. Interesting. I'm sure Brian talks about it. Let's see. Let's look at his index. It's probably like 20 pages long. Oh, these pages are getting old and crumbly. Okay, I was looking for positive. I was sure Brian had a positive expectations. A lot of P words there. Uh, need to have that in our lives. Law of determination. That's number 60. Law of problems is our last one. Law of persuasion. I think we really talked about that. The law of security. The deepest craving of human nature is a desire for personal, financial, and emotional securities. Are you insecure? 65. The law. Here's one the law of risk. Uh, risk. Brian's definition: the risk is inherent in any investment of time, money, or emotion. Yes. Corollaries. Risk. For sure, my definition of risk is different than most folks, because I have taken the journey in life that I have. Risk is a way of life. I don't stop and say, boy, that's risky. I better not do that. If I think it's something that needs to be done, power, persistence, passion, persistence, patience. If it needs to be done, you do it. It's not about risk. There is no risk. We live in a yes or no world. I guess that's the risk. Yes or no is the risk. So realize that either one can happen. You only have control over your own life. You don't have control, or maybe you do, over somebody else's life. And it's I guess abilities to act. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. There's my granddaughters. Look at, aren't they precious? That's about a year old. This was my birthday. It's almost a year old. This was my birthday last year. I was presented this. Uh, there's the whole family. Law of trust. Oh, there's the law of trust. The trust bond beyond between the salesperson and the customer is the foundation of the successful sale. Yes, yes, absolutely, positively. The law of relationships, uh, relationship selling. I am a firm believer of relationship selling. Firm believer. Law of friendship. Yes. Isn't that what Facebook is all about? Friendship and followers. The law of positioning. Um, I love the word position. I've used it a lot. I forgot about Brian using the word. There's a book that I read 30 years ago, a famous book about positioning. That's how we perceive ourselves in the world, in the marketplace, how we position ourselves. That's how what determines our behavior. Reality. The law of perspective, the way that you are viewed by your customers. Uh-oh. That means I've been talking for an hour already. The hour of the dance planning. That's it. Thank you. Thank you for more than 19 minutes of your time today. Thank you for 19 times 3 if you're still here, if you are still here. It's been a lot of fun uh, in the Celebrate Business Project. Every Saturday is Small Business Saturday. We'll see you maybe before next Saturday. We'll see you soon.